Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Demi Corinna and I specialize in custom bridal veils and accessories. I am so excited to share this next project as it is near and dear to my heart. A bride came to me with a simple request: create a custom wedding veil inspired by Lord of the Rings. If this is something that sounds interesting to you, keep watching to see the entire design process and the final veil reveal at the end. So gorgeous bride Emma reached out to me via Instagram to inquire about creating a custom veil together. I will go ahead and read some of the messages now. She basically said she's looking for something fun, whimsical, and unique, with perhaps a bit of a 3D element or some color. So from there, I started to source some different options ranging from more of a classic ivory lace with perhaps like a touch of a 3D element and some texture. And then I also sourced some lace with a 3D element plus some color. At this point, I mostly was sticking to pink. I didn't want to like shock her, but I just wanted to throw in something unique and whimsical to get the ball rolling and get the creative juices flowing. Because as a bridal designer, I love classic ivory lace. Obviously, it's what I work with day in and day out. But you know, sometimes I just want to switch it up. Work with some color, work with some texture, do something different and out of the box. That's why I infused some more unique options, because I was like, maybe she'll be into that. And spoiler alert, she was into that. Her creative juices really started flowing as well. So then she's like, let me show you my Pinterest board. I'm gonna put some screenshots on the screen of what that looks like and the color story of her wedding, so you can get an idea of, you know, where some of the inspiration was coming from. So super conceptual, super unique, super interesting, and I'm like, oh my god, I think that we can work with some of these colors and create something really special. I think you've inspired me to see if we can incorporate something more whimsy and colorful. My partner and I lean into sun and moon motifs a lot, as well as Arwen and Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. So from there, I was like, I think we need to go off of this. I want to incorporate all of that into this veil. I started researching Arwen and Aragorn and pulling up photos of them together to see if anything was really speaking to me from a design perspective. I'm gonna pull up some of the images I found here. So upon my research, I was really inspired by the photos from Aragorn's coronation. Specifically of the draping on Arwen's crown. You can see, you know, the silver chains kind of draping across each other and going in between. And I was like, I would love to replicate that in some way with the veil, either with literal chains or like creating a drape with the fabric. I just thought that was so stunning and romantic, and I wanted to incorporate that into the veil. So I was like, I think I need to sketch this out. I don't always sketch out veils because, you know, I can kind of talk through the inspiration pretty easily. When I do something super conceptual like this, I need to get my ideas out on paper. So let's go sketch. I started sketching options based on this mood board I created, and like I mentioned earlier, I was focusing on the draping of Arwen's crown that she wore during Aragorn's coronation. I also wanted to have a cascading floral element throughout the veil. And here is my trusty assistant Bodhi. You'll be seeing a lot more of him throughout the video. I sketched 3 options with and without draping or chains, and she chose the option with both. Finally, all my materials have arrived, so I'm going to walk you through what I ordered. So I ordered this blush tool. It looks really dark when it's rolled like this, but it's actually pretty subtle when it's one layer. So it just has a nice warm blush tone. And then I ordered this 3D lace here, which I think will look really nice with the blush tool. And I'm gonna cut these flowers and these leaves out so it has a 3D element. I also ordered these little 3D butterflies made out of organza. I ordered them in green, pink, and blue. This kind of matches her overall mood board and color scheme for her wedding, and she wanted to infuse these colors with little hits as the butterflies. I also ordered this lace that has some pink flowers and green leaves, and I'm almost feeling like this blushy pink color kind of clashes with the tone of this, so I honestly just might cover up the flat flowers with the 3D ones and use this vibrant green color for the leaves, because I think this will blend a little bit better since we're working with a lot of colors here. And then finally, I got 2 gold combs because it's going to be a cowl-shaped veil, so I'm going to need 2. And then I got some chains to go across each comb. They're a little tangled right now, so that's going to take me a while to get them untangled. And then I actually got some charms to pick from. The sun and the moon are very important to their relationship. I haven't decided totally if I'm going to use these, but I think they're really beautiful. And then I have my gold logo tag here. This beautiful gold tone is going to look very nice with the pink, I think. And now it's time to cut out the gorgeous pink tulle. It's so pretty. I decided to match the tulle. And plus, it's finally sunny in Seattle. It's been an extremely gloomy spring so far. Pretty messily, but there will be a comb on each side of her head. Obviously, there is no head on this mannequin, but you can see the cowl shape here, which has a beautiful drape. And I'm going to add the chains in between this space so that the chains drape similarly to the cowl shape of the veil. I think it's gonna come together and be gorgeous, but you get the vision. Okay, so I think what I've decided to do is to create 5 lace peaks. Peaks? I don't know if that's what they're called, but that is what I am going to call them. And I'm basically going to use these trailing vines to move upwards. I've marked the middle of the veil, and that is where the longest peak is going to go, and then I'll have 2 slightly shorter ones on each side. And I'm going to mirror this pattern. And then I'm going to use these gorgeous 3D flowers in clusters moving upwards towards the comb. Once I decide how I want the pattern to look, I will sew it all together. So as of right now, that is the plan. Okay, so sewing of my flats was horrible. I changed into my Uggs because I would much rather sew in comfy clothes, but I'm trying to be cute, so. Hi, Bo. I sew everything on by hand, so this part genuinely takes me days and days and days. So I need to go to bed soon, but I just started taking the lace clusters and adding a little bit of green to them to give them some interest, and I'm gonna pepper them throughout the veil. Honestly, this kills my knees. It was at this moment that I decided that the charms were too pretty not to include. And here I am wrapping the combs with the pink tulle so that the veil can easily be sewn on. At this point, I had to ask my husband to cut the gold chains because I was too scared to do it myself. Does this mean I need to compensate him for his labor, or...? I need to figure out a way to secure the loops. I'm thinking I'll try a needle nose plier to secure them, but I'm going to have to consult TikTok for that. I ended up phoning in a friend. My old boss makes jewelry, so she advised that I use a plier and then wrap it with masking tape. So I think I'm gonna try that and see how it goes. I'm gonna be honest, that stressed me out just a little bit, so I'm happy to be back sewing with fabric. And now I'm gathering the top edges so I can easily sew them to the combs. And here I am placing all 3 colors of butterflies hidden within the lace throughout the veil. I was initially a little bit worried that the colors of the butterflies would be too crazy, but I am obsessed with how this is coming together. I'm adding the last flowers to the top of the combs and finally adding my custom logo tag. And now it's time for the big reveal. Now the veil is ready to be delivered to the bride. I hope you enjoy these beautiful photos from her wedding day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching the process of making that veil as much as I enjoyed making the veil itself. This project was unlike anything I've ever done before, and I am so pleased with the results and how gorgeous the bride looked on her wedding day. I don't think I'm ever going to get over those photos. So anyways, if you want to go ahead and give me a follow, all my socials are down below. You can like and subscribe to see what I'm up to and my next projects. And yeah, I've enjoyed hanging out with you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!